you so much to everybody that took a few minutes to watch my first intro video. I am really excited to kick off this knit along, and I'm excited to tell you all about the designs in this video. But if you missed that first intro video, I want to encourage you to go watch it. I talk a lot about the high level details of the knit along, and you don't want to miss it. So I'm going to link to it below. All right. Picture yourself confidently tackling new knitting projects, trying out techniques that always felt intimidating for you to explore before, and finishing those projects with a huge sense of pride and accomplishment. Think about how empowering it would feel to overcome those moments of frustration when you felt stuck on a specific technique or when you faced a mistake. And instead of feeling alone and overwhelmed, you find yourself supported by our expert coaches and a community that cheers you on and helps you solve those issues in real time. Imagine getting stopped at the grocery store or wherever you go frequently, for me it would be the coffee shop, by random strangers who are oohing and awing over the beautiful sweater or shawl that you've made. It's the best feeling. Imagine the peace and contentment that comes from having a consistent making practice that fits seamlessly into your busy schedule, helping you unwind and find joy and creativity amidst the chaos. This is where your knitting becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes a source of joy, a way to express yourself creatively, and a way to slow down and de-stress from the ups and downs of daily life. This transformation is about moving from frustration to accomplishment, from isolation to a vibrant community, and from self-doubt to confidence. It's all within your reach, and I am so excited to help you achieve it. So just in case you missed that first video, my name is Amy Small, and I am the founder of a business called Collage, where I design yarns and knitting patterns and teach knitting and crochet online. Over the past 15 years that we've been in business, I have taught thousands of knitters everything from the knit stitch to how to knit a complex sweater, and everything in between. This will be the 17th time that I am hosting the knit along with our amazing Knit Collage team. And we always say here that it's a little bit like our Super Bowl. It's what we prep for behind the scenes 9 months in advance. We constantly are thinking of ways to improve it and up-level it. I can't wait to tell you about the app later. It's so much fun. It's what we live for here. So together, we'll be knitting 8 designs in community over a 6-week time frame. Along with the patterns, you'll get a rough knitting schedule, video courses on how to knit each design from start to finish, as well as 2 coaching calls a week with either myself or one of our expert coaches, Pia and Cheryl. My experience has shown me that the key to success is not just about learning new techniques, but also about being surrounded by a supportive community and expert guides. Within our knit-along experience, our coaches and community, not to mention those detailed videos I put together for you, are all there with one goal in mind, and that is to support and help you get to that coveted finished object that you are just so excited to rock out in the world. Through these knit-alongs, I have seen firsthand the incredible transformations that happen when knitters are given the right tools, guidance, and support. I'm excited to share this approach with you so that you can elevate your knitting journey and experience some of the incredible benefits that myself and the community has felt along the way. Today, I'd love to go deeper into each of our unique yarns, as well as each of the 8 style options that we'll be knitting and crocheting together. But before we talk about each design, I want to share about the power of these community learning events from 2 of our past participants. So I'm going to share some photos of past participants' work and just read some thoughts from Kelly and Eileen. All right, so here's Kelly, who recently joined in our Faye Fringe Bag mini knit along, something we call a challenge. It was just 2 weeks long. Hi Knit Collage. What did I enjoy most from this challenge? Well, there's just too many wonderful things to count, but here are just a few. 1, I learned so much. A new cast on, new stitches, new cast off, and so much more. 2, the video lessons were the absolute best. They were clear and concise and so easy to follow. 3, the yarns. The yarns were each beautiful and unique. 4, but the most wonderful part of this challenge was that it allowed me to tap into my creativity. My creativity was lost for a bit, but because of this knit-along, I found it again. I want to knit more, use more color, be okay with mistakes, and enjoy the process. Thank you, thank you. I can't wait for the next knit-along. Kelly. This is from Eileen, who joined in the Dreamweaver Pillow Challenge, which was a 2-week-long knit-along. I'm the person who hadn't knit in almost 20 years and decided to re-enter the knitting scene with the Entrelac pillow. At best, I was an advanced beginner when I stopped knitting. Entrelac wasn't even on my radar. I want you to know that this Dreamweaver pillow experience with you and Knit Collage was fabulous. It has energized me to knit again and to knit with joy. In the past, I was often frustrated because I didn't know how to do a stitch or technique, and I had to go through seemingly a gazillion YouTube videos until I found the right one for me. Or I had to wait until I could go see one of my friends who knits so that they could help me. Your videos are great. It is easy to see how you are knitting a stitch, and your explanations are easy to understand. I've watched some of the videos many times over. I loved the community too. I posted pictures of my progress a few times and people were so encouraging, even if it was only to say how much they liked my color combination. It was the same on the Zooms. On the first or second Zoom, after people showed their finished or almost finished pillows, I put myself out there to show my barely started pillow front, and I felt the love. Whenever I shared my progress, even though I was behind many knitters, I felt it. With all of the support and encouragement, I never once felt like I couldn't finish this pillow. I never once felt discouraged. Thank you for getting me back into knitting. I am truly grateful. So I'd love to dive into our yarns. If you're new to Knit Collage, we have very unique yarns here. I'm gonna just go through it really quickly and high level. If you wanna go deeper, feel free to go deeper on our website. So our yarns are made by a team of 18 women in India, many of whom have been with us since the very early days since I started out, and the majority of them are hand spun. So this is what the process looks like. We begin with carding the fiber. This is for most of the yarns, there is carding involved. And you can think of this as painting with different fiber colors to mix colors together. And what's so cool about doing it by hand is that no areas repeat. It's all very organic and random, and it's very different than what you can achieve on a machine. So there's the carding. Then we have some of the team actually create the trims or thread the trims that get spun into our yarns. So our daisies are threaded within the daisy chain yarn. We have crochet trims that are added to our Dreamland yarn, and all sorts of different ribbons and fabrics and threads that we cut into strips and then give to our spinners along with the carded fiber to combine into our yarns. This is the process we use for daisy chain and for Dreamland. And we do this to an extent with Castaway and Wanderlust too, but you don't have trims in those yarns. So really time intensive process, lots of hand elements, and each skein is truly a work of art unto itself, even though the recipe is the same for each skein, but each one will look a little bit different because you don't know which order the trims are going to pop up or which way the colors that are carded are going to pop up and come out in the yarn. So it's a really unique, fun yarns to knit with. All right, so those are the yarns. All right, so now we're going to dive into each of the designs. I'll try to make this brief, but if you have more questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below or send me a DM. So this is the design I want to show you first. This is the Flow State Cardi, and I designed this one along with a pattern writer, Sue Hislop. It is a basic top-down sweater, and it is worked up in our Spun Cloud Light yarn with a needle felting kit. So let me show you this yarn here. This is the Spun Cloud Light. It is a lightweight thick and thin yarn. So it's got a slight slubby texture, and then it's got a little bit of shine to it. So there's a little bit of lurex in there. So that's the yarn that this sweater is knit in. We also will be needle felting with this sweater. So you don't have to needle felt it. It's up to you to decide if you want to or not. But if you want a needle felt, you could, and add these beautiful designs to it. So we've got needle felting kits coming in for the first time ever for spring. I'm really excited about these. We don't have a ton of them. So I want to encourage you to get this early if you're thinking about it. And let me just add some photos of this design here on the model. So I think what's really cool about this one is it's a super beginner friendly sweater. It's knit top down. It's a raglan style sweater. And then after you work the sweater, you apply a rib band to the edge. You can add buttons if you like. We actually are going to have these amazing buttons on the site that are made from upcycled fabric. I believe that's what they're from. They're so cool. And then the needle felting comes next. And the needle felting can really be any design of your choice. I will show you in the videos how to make a design similar to this sweater that I'm wearing, but you could of course go rogue and do whatever you want. So that's the Flow State Cardi. So the next sweater is the Mixtape Sweater. I wore this in the first video, and this is the long sleeve version. It is a self-striping yarn. This is a new yarn we have coming in for spring. So here is two of the colorways. You can see it's got all different yarns mixed into one, which creates this really cool self-striping effect. So this is a great beginner-friendly sweater, and I love it because you've got a lot of variations and options you can do. So you can go with a scoop neck, a mock neck, you can go sleeves or no sleeves, and you can combine those in any way you want. So you could do scoop neck short sleeve or mock neck long sleeve. It's really up to you. So within this pattern, you will learn the construction is top down. So you'll learn how to knit a sweater from the top down. And you'll also learn how to do this very cute split hem that's at the end. We'll pick up stitches to knit your sleeves. And then if you decide to do the scoop neck version, we add a very simple crochet edge. So it's maybe a starter or a little dip your toe into the crocheting world with a crochet edge around the neckline. So we have 5 colors of this new yarn coming for spring. I'm really excited about it. This one, I think of sort of as like a leopard print. I don't know why, but it feels like leopard to me. The rainbow one is so pretty. We've got neutral, we've got a kind of fall moody feeling one, and then a blue one. So they're all really pretty, all coming in for spring. All right, so the third design is the Mixtape Cardi. I love this one. It is knit in our waterfall yarn, which I think we brought in last year or the year before. It is a viscose ribbon yarn. So it's like knitting with a ribbon. It's very airy and breezy, which makes it just perfect for spring and summer. So I have a couple skeins I can show you here. I love all these colors. And then this color, oh my gosh, so pretty too. So within this design, we have a very unique construction. It is knit from cuff to center back, and then cuff to center back, and then you seam up the center back. And then finally you add a rib band to the edges. So that is a construction. It's a unique construction. It's knit on a big needle, so it'll whip up really, really quickly. It's really drapey and cool to the touch. There's nothing warm and cozy about this one, so it would be really great for warm weather climates over a dress or a tank top. It's perfect for spring and summer. So that is the Monet Cardi. I really love it. I really love it. It feels really good on. I haven't put it on yet. So cute. All right, so the next design is the stained glass shawl. This is it. It is absolutely art. I keep thinking you could just hang this on your wall and have this beautiful masterpiece on your wall if you didn't feel like wearing it. but it is also just so cool. I could imagine wearing this out on the town one night out, or to a music concert, festival, anything like that. Just so pretty, and it's such a wow. So the yarns that you use in this are Serenity, which forms the outline of those ovals, and the Mixtape yarn, which is in the center of those ovals. And because the Mixtape yarn is this self-striping yarn that's all these different yarns in one, it looks like there's more than one yarn in the center of these crochet ovals, but there's not. So those are the yarns that you use for this. What you can expect to learn in here is how to crochet those oval shapes, how to crochet granny squares, how to connect them all into the stained glass shawl using crochet. So we've got crochet all the way in this design. It's our one crochet piece. If you're newer to crochet, this might be a great design for you to challenge yourself and up-level your skills. With my video tutorials and the support of the coaches in the community, you'll be setting yourself up for success with this one. So that is the stained glass shawl. So it's time to dive into the greatest hits. These are greatest hit knit-along designs from seasons past that you all voted on. These are the top 4 you wanted us to do for our spring 2025 knit along. So I'm excited to share them with you. The first one I want to share is the Lotus Sweater. So I've got this one on. I modified this sample to be a bit shorter than the original sample, which you'll see in a minute. And I love it. I like cropped. Most people like longer, so the kits will be for the longer original version, but I really love the way that this cropped one came out. So let me show you what yarns are in this design. You will be using a Spun Cloud Light Skein, so that same yarn I showed you for the Flow State Cardi, subtle, thick and thin texture with a little sparkle, and then a Wildflower mini skein kit that forms the contrast down the center front panel. So that's that. And the Wildflower yarn we haven't talked about. It is a screen printed yarn that is made by hand in Jaipur, India. Then they send it up to our team in Ludhiana, where we make our hand spun yarns, where they laser cut it into strips and then knot it. So it does have knots on it. It has frayed edges. That's kind of part of the fun of all of it. It's knitting with a cotton voile fabric. My favorite part is that you see the prints on your project, and they really pop and they create this beautiful contrast from the solid color that you're working them with. So that's the Wildflower yarn. Now, within the Lotus Sweater, what can you expect to learn? Well, you are going to learn that beautiful lotus stitch, and we'll be working that. It's a form of color work because you're working it with other yarns. And you'll work this from the bottom up. There's a split hem if you want to do that. I think it's a really cool detail. It's a subtle boat neck style. You'll pick up stitches for the sleeves and knit down your sleeves. So it's a little bit more of an advanced sweater versus some of the other ones, but the video tutorials are going to be right there with you to help support you, as well as the coaches and the community. So that's the Lotus Sweater. Okay, so number 2 of the greatest hits is the Everyday Yay sweater. This is a favorite from, I think, 2 years ago. I love it, and I got my sample back from a store yesterday, and I'm very excited to be wearing it here with you. So this is the Everyday Yay that I made in a knit along, I think 2 years ago. It is a simple top-down sweater. The yarns used are our Spun Cloud, so our regular Spun Cloud, which is bulkier than the lightweight version, so it knits up very fast, this sweater. And you'll use a Wildflower mini skein kit for the embroidery. Now we will kit it 2 ways, solid and with embroidery, and you can decide how you want to do it. The Spun Cloud has that thick and thin texture and a bit of sparkle, and the Wildflower we talked about already. So in this design, it is a fabulously written pattern. It is a simple top-down sweater, perfect for beginners. It is raglan, so very similar to the Flow State, but a different yarn that we use, different needle size. It's a little bit bulkier, so a bigger needle. And then, yeah, you knit it from the top down, work those raglan increases. At the end, you add the rib band. You can choose to go with the faux crochet buttons and the chunky snaps, or you can create a buttonhole and a button, use a button. You can add the cross stitch embroidery or not. It's totally up to you. I love this. I think it is such a showstopper. It's such a fun design. It's a really great fit, wonderful to wear anywhere. So that's the everyday Yay. All right, so the next design is the Spring Fling Cardi. This is a design we are bringing back from 2021, and it's a really good one. I saw this sample being knit up within our community, our creative knitters community, and I knew we had to put it in the survey for spring. I had forgotten about how good this design was. So these are the yarns you use. It's the same as the Everyday Yay. It's our Spun Cloud and a Wildflower mini skein set, and the Wildflower mini skein set is for the yoke. So this one is really fun for folks that want to play with color placement in their yoke and just really think about what colors inspire them. It's a fun way to tap into your own creativity. And we use a very cool technique in this design where you knit a row and then you slide your work back and knit another row. It's called the knit and slide. It's very cool. In this design, we work top down. It's a circular yoke. From there, we divide for the sleeves and the body. And then if you want to, at the end, you can work this beautiful scalloped lace pattern. It's a very simple lace. I will teach you how to read the knitting chart for that bottom lace. So if you've never done that before, it's a great entry point into lace knitting. And the way we will kit this is with short sleeves. So I've got the sample on that has the longer sleeves. We're kitting it for short sleeves. You'll need a little bit of extra yarn for the 3/4 length sleeve if you decide to do that. But if you do, this is a fun, beautiful lace sleeve option that mirrors what's happening on the bottom of the sweater. So this is the Spring Fling. It's so pretty. I love it. And I'm excited to bring it back. Okay, so the final design is the Feeling Groovy Vest. This is a design we did in the fall, and it was such a big hit. It doesn't take much yarn, which gives it a great price point, and it's very quick to knit up. So if you don't have a ton of time on your hands, this is a great one for you. Or if you've never knit a sweater before, this is a great one to dip your toe into knitting something to actually fit you. So the yarns that you'll be using are either a Spun Cloud, if you plan to go with a solid one, like what I have on, just our plain Spun Cloud yarn, or if you want to create the mixed yarn version, which I'll show you pictures of in a minute, you'll use the kit that is our Spun Cloud yarn mixed with a mini skein sampler kit. And in our mini skein sampler kit, you get to try out 5 of our yarns in one go. So it's a really fun way to introduce yourself to our yarns. All right, so within this design, here's what you can expect to learn. We will knit this all in one piece from bottom edge to bottom edge, and then we will pick up stitches for your turtleneck or your mock neck, whatever you want to call it, and then pick up stitches for the edge ribbing that goes all the way around the vest. The final thing is crocheting ties that we add to the sides of this vest. So it's very simple, very beginner friendly. Those video courses, those video classes will be there for you at every step, as well as myself and the coaches and the community to help you along. So it's a great beginner project. All right, so that's the Feeling Groovy Vest. Let me know if you have any questions about it. So those are all the designs. Now I would love to show you what our app looks like and what my courses within our app look like, because this entire Knitalong experience is hosted in our brand new-ish, so new as of October of last year, app. So within the app, we have all the video courses, all the patterns, the community, the events, and the event recording. So it's everything all in one place. So let's hop to the Feeling Groovy Vest. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look into what these courses look like when you are a student. Let's go inside what the Knit Collage app looks like. So this app is available on Apple and Android devices, so you can get it anywhere. And then you can also access it from any browser. So I often use it on my computer. It's totally up to you. The videos are all hosted here, the events in the community space, as well as the patterns. So this is what it looked like within our fall 2024 Knitalong app space. So you can see all the patterns are here. You click on this and you'll find all the PDFs. From there, we had a Before You Begin video series. And then you see the video courses for all of the fall Knitalong designs. I'm going to take you inside the Feeling Groovy Vest right now. So I click on that arrow and all the videos related to this pattern come out. And the way I create these courses is really in parallel to the pattern. So we go through the pattern in bite-sized chunks together. So we've got one on fit and sizing and choosing the right size for you, then the materials. You can click on any of these to access the videos and then play them. And they're yours forever. So you've got them available to you at any time to come back to. So I just go through the pattern in a lot of detail, the gauge overview, then how to knit your gauge swatch so you make sure that you've got the right gauge and tension. And then from there, we get into actually knitting your project. So let's go into just a random video, one that's part of this. It's the back yoke. I'm teaching you how to do 2 decrease stitches, the knit 2 together and the SSK. So I go through the entire pattern just like this, really bite-sized chunks. I try to make these videos about 3 to 7 minutes long at most. And we go all the way through until binding off and finishing your project. So that's what the courses look. Of course, you have the community, which feels very much like a Facebook group without being a Facebook group, and then the event space there too. All right, so that's the app. If these styles feel scary or intimidating, please do not fret. We got you. There is so much help and support baked into the way that we run these knit-alongs. And that's truly what it's all about. It's about helping you on your journey get to that coveted FO. So don't miss the blog post that I put together. I'm going to link to it below, where I dive into each of the 8 designs and I share the fit and sizing details so that you can choose your size early or ask us questions about which size you might be early. I share all the color combinations in there. And then the last thing I share about are all the pricing details, because the pricing varies depending on which design you're making and in which size. All right, the last thing I want to mention is if you have your own yarn or if you live somewhere where shipping is tricky, I want to encourage you to join us with the virtual option, and I'll detail that in the blog post as well. All right, so now that we've explored what being part of a supportive community is like and how that can transform your knitting, you might be wondering what comes next and how to get involved. So in the next video, I am going to dive into exactly how to join us. I'm also going to dive into some of the special community events I have planned that I'll be leading that are centered around waking up your inner artist, slowing down and enjoying the process of knitting. And those are going to be really fun. I'm excited about them. I've got some new things up my sleeve, so be sure to check that out in the next video. The last thing I'll share is some experiences from past community members. They're going to share how their knitting and being a part of our community and the Knitalong experience has changed not only their knitting, but their overall well-being. So stay tuned for all of that coming in 2 days. But before I wrap up, I have a small action that I would really love you to take. Please do not leave me hanging. Which design are you most excited about to knit or crochet? Which one has your name on it? Which one is calling to you and exciting you? Let me know in the comments. I would also love to know, what knitting or crochet challenges are you faced with? Are you like Eileen, who every time she picks up a new project has to search a gazillion YouTube videos to find a tutorial that fits the pattern she's working with? What are the challenges you're facing? This helps us learn and shape the Knitalong to answer these exact challenges and make sure we got you covered. So go ahead, leave me a comment, one or the other or both. I'd love to hear from you. And please go check out that blog post where I have everything in all the detail laid out for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.